Now in this lecture we'll make our own next keylogger. So let's first of all see what is the main disadvantage of the keylogger that we made in the previous lecture. So if I run this keylogger again, then it is going to just get the key that is going to be released or pressed. So this is effectively working in the case of a keyboard. So let's see one scenario. What if the user copy and paste to the respective field or the social media? So if I just go again and if I just copy this again and if I'm going to paste it over here, then if you go back to our keylogger, it is not going to show us anything about this username and the password. It is only showing us that it is Control C, Control V that is being pressed, nothing about this what we just copied over here. So that is the main disadvantage. So that is the main disadvantage of this keylogger. So let's see how we can make or just modify this keylogger. So there comes this paperclip. So this is very important module. So let me just copy this first, and you can simply do something like open your command terminal and you can simply paste it over here and just press enter. I've already installed, so I do not need to just install one more time. So you need to install less if you are installing this at the first time. So after that you can simply close this, and now you can also make use of ideally or any other module, but you can make use of any other IDE, that is the ideally, or you can also use Eagle or PyCharm. But in this case I really like this PyCharm, so I'm going to make use of this PyCharm. So here what you're gonna do is we are going to make use of this paperclip, so is to just get this field that is just copied and pasted, which is this situation in where our keylogger that we just made in the previous lecture was ineffective. So you can also check the paperclip documentation over here, but I'll just take you through the coding of this paperclip in this lecture. So first of all, as always, we have to import this module, and in this case it should be paperclip. So this is been imported. Next I want to import the time, because I want to just give the time to this keylogger so as to just record the key. So next is I want to create the list. This is list is because it will store the keyboard content. So if we just copy this from this clipboard, so let's assume that this notepad is a clipboard, so it is going to just create a list which will going to store this clipboard content, which is basically this field or the name, password. This is going to be injected, or basically it will be stored in this list, which is empty for now. So now we have to now make a loop. So I have already shown you how to make a loop in the basic section of a Python, and this is going to be the infinite loop. So here we have to make use of now paperclip, and it is going to be paste. So what we just did here, so this is the method, basically paste is the method. So if the clipboard content is not empty, so what we're gonna do is we are going to see first this clipboard content if it is empty or not. In this case this method is going to be called, and if it is not empty, so we have to make the condition for that, that is with this none. So if it is not empty, we are going to do something, and that is to paste to the value. So we are going to make the new field here with the value and paperclip dot paste. So what we just did here was we are just checking the clipboard content, and if it is not empty, then we'll just take its value and put it in this value field. So that is a important part over here. You can also print that, but in this case I am not going to do that. So next thing is to check that value. If value not in the list, so I've already told you before that this list is going to contain your clipboard content. So it is clipboard content will be stored in this list, which is empty for now. So if the value is not in list, that means we are going to make sure that the list value is not replicated. If it is stored twice, then we are not going to just put that into the value, otherwise it is going to be append to the list, that is the value. So this is to just remove the duplication of the value in the list. So this is statement over here. So after that we have to now print that list. So I'm going to print this list over here. So next thing is to just make use of this time module, and I'll just say time dot sleep. So I want to just sleep this for 3 seconds. Every 3 seconds this keylogger will just generate this while true, or basically this loop. So we have now completed our code. So what we just did over here was a simple payload that is going to first check if the keyboard or a clipboard is empty or not. If it is not empty, it is going to paste that value, and if this is not the replication, that this value is not already added in the list, that means we are going to add this because this is a unique value. We'll just add this to the list. We are going to print that list, and this is going to execute in every 3 seconds. So this is a pretty much a simple payload over here, and you could see that we just did here, that is paperclip and paste, and we're just checking for the none, and that is pretty much. So if I just go over here, and it's time to execute this payload. Let's see if this works or not. So I have to just save this first, and I have already saved in the main.py. You can also run this same code in the Eagle or the IDLE. You can do in any IDE. So now you could see I have executed, and it has executed now. So let's see if this works or not. So first of all, I'll just inject this John Doe. Let's copy this. Let's go over here. Let's paste it right here. Let's see in our PyCharm. Then you could see right here, johndoe@gmail.com. Let's see for this hey, which is password. Let's copy this. Let's paste this in password field. Let's see this hey has also been captured. So this is the email, this is the password which has been captured by this paperclip module, which is done over here. So this is pretty much a simple module, but it is going to do much more work. So it is going to capture the clipboard content, and it is going to just capture it and paste it in our list, and this is the output of the list. Let me show you. This is the output of the list. In every 3 seconds it is going to execute, and it is going to give us the result. So it is going to just loop around in every 3 seconds, and it is going to give us the result again and again after 3 seconds. If you want to just terminate from here, and this will be your field for the username, and this is for the password. So this is a simple payload that is going to just grab the content from the clipboard, and you can just do rest of the things with this payload. You can also make some modification to the content, just converting this py file to the bat file, and you can inject to the victim's machine. So see you in the next one.